How's it going, everybody? Chris Cards back through the mail on Monday. 6 wonderful returns for you today. Our first return coming to us from Albuquerque, New Mexico. At least that's what's on the stamped envelope there. We've got Don Pharisee. Don Pharisee, 1958, 59, and 60 top, signed very nicely. A couple of 59s there. Don Pharisee was a pitcher back in the day. Started his pro career back in 1948. Prior to St. Mary's College out of Cali. Spent 51-52 season in Korea. Thank you for your service, Don. Spent most of his career with the Baltimore Orioles. Was once on the Ed Sullivan Show, and he actually filled this out. Someone actually filled out the signature card. This is the first time in many years of sending these signature cards that someone actually signed the front and filled out the information in the back. Now, Don's had a change of address recently, so there is his new information. Don Pharisee. And yes, thank you, Ed Sullivan, for having him on your show. Although he did lots of interviews, so it was easy to find his name out pretty quickly. Michael Myers, in case you were wondering. And there you guys go, Don Pharisee. Let's move on to return number 2. Providence, Rhode Island. Let us see who we get for our second return here. Not many cards in here from the feel of it. And we have Gary DiSarcina, great little signer, 1995 All-Star with the Angels. In fact, he spent his entire career being drafted by the Angels in 1988. He spent 1989 seasons through the 2000 season with the California Angels, 12 years. Started off as the California Angels, and then, of course, when Walt Disney bought the team in 96 and dumped a bunch of money into Angel Stadium, they renamed their team to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, because Anaheim spent a lot of money on that stadium renovation, so they wanted a piece of the action. And neither Los Angeles or Anaheim liked the name Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And that lasted for 10 years till 2015 when they became the Anaheim Angels. So funny little naming situation there with the Angels. And Gary DiSarcina, third base coach currently with the Nationals. I'm not sure if the Nationals are making any coaching changes this year. Probably not. But he's still there as far as I know. He was also an executive in several teams as well as assistant to the GM, and he's done lots of executive roles as well. So he's been a baseball man through and through ever since retiring in 2000. Lifelong shortstop of the Angels. Nice return from Gary. Let's move on to our third return of the day. All right, gang, couple from the vault here. New Orleans, Louisiana. Got this back in January of 2020. Colin Smith's favorite part of Through the Mail Monday are classic openings. Jim Bollinger. Jim Bollinger was a relief pitcher and a starter for the Cubs for 5 years. 7-year career, brother of Kirk Bollinger, who played 4 seasons in the late 90s, early 2000s. Jim Bollinger had the better career, but not by much. He does not sign very often. In fact, this might be his last return. I don't think there's been many returns after this one, so your mileage may vary. I do have his proper information here, double-checked, but like I said, your mileage may vary if you're trying to get your 93 top signed, like I got signed. And there you guys go, Jim Bollinger. Nice return from him. Not a very frequent signer, although I've seen a few of his cards on eBay. So I mean, he signed for somebody. But there you guys go, Jim Bollinger. Let's move on to our fourth return of the day. All right, my friends, moving right along. Looks like St. Louis, Missouri for our next return here. Looks like we got some vintage peeking out from under this unsigned index card. We got George Altman. George Altman, nice little career, 3-time All-Star, except one of those was the 61 year where they had 2 All-Star games, so that's kind of an asterisk on that one. Pride of Tennessee State University, 9-year career, 7 of those with the Cubs, 1 with the Mets, and 1 with the Cardinals. Started and finished his major league career with the Cubs, but then after 1968, went on and played 8 years in Japan, so he was a big slugger in Japan as well as the United States. I got these back when he was free. I think he's now $5 a card. Although your mileage may vary, you might be able to sneak a few past him and get him signed. I'm not sure how strict he is, but he is requesting $5 donation now. Got these cards nicely signed a couple of years ago. Nice return from him. Updated information right there. Hope everyone enjoys the vintage returns while we're still able to get them. Very nice to get these back. Let's move on now to our next return. St. Petersburg, Florida, our next return from April of 2020. Once again, not too many cards in here. In fact, not too many cards in any of these requests so far this week, so the guy that yells at me for sending too many cards will pipe down this week, perhaps, give me a nod of approval. And we've got Jim Snyder, the late Jim Snyder, passed away in March of 2021 at the age of 88. Had a 41-game big year career, all with the Minnesota Twins. 1 home run, 140 average. Was not a very good player, but at least he got that one Major League home run. That's pretty sweet. Look at this. 1988, he had a 105-game stint as the Mariners manager after Dick Williams was let go because he could not communicate with the team. Although, let's be honest, the 88 Mariners were going to be bad whether I was manager, Dick Williams was manager, or Jim Snyder was manager. So he's got 2 cards out of it, 88 tops and 89 tops. Pretty sweet. 105 games, less than a complete season. He got 2 baseball cards out of it. So missed the manager cards. Those were always great TTM material, and managers are usually pretty good at signing. So wish they'd bring back the manager cards. But I guess that's neither here nor there. And there you guys go. Jim Snyder. Don't send to him. He's dead. You will not get a return from him. But he was a great signer back in the day. Happy to get the 88 and 89 tops cards signed. I don't think he had any vintage cards, so that's what I went with, 88 and 89 tops. And guys, let's move on to our final return of the day. Let's do it. Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania from 2020. 6th and final return of the day. Hope everyone enjoyed this week's Through the Mail Monday. Hit that sub button. I do this every single Monday. And we've got a Cincinnati Reds signature card as well as an index card that was signed by Ted Wyand. Ted Wyand, 1960 Rookie Star card signed very nicely. Both of them signed very nicely by the late, great Ted Wyand. He passed away July of 2021 at the age of 88. Same year as Jim Snyder and same age as Jim Snyder. How about that, sports fans? Hope I make it to 88. I don't think so, but I'm going to try, guys. I'm going to try. He did not play very much, Mr. Ted Wyand. He got into 1 game in 1958 for the Cincinnati Red Stockings, and he got into 5 games in 1960 for the Cincinnati Reds. So he outlasted the Red Stockings name at least and was able to play for just the Reds. And what can I say about him? He was traded from the Cardinals in 1957 to the Reds for a few other players, including Curt Flood, future All-Star for the Cardinals. So that was pretty cool, I guess. And Mr. Ted Wyand signed these cards very nicely. Once again, do not send off to him. You will not get a response at all. He had a 9.95 ERA in those, like 6 1/3 innings in those two years. So there's that. And that is it, my friends. Put it in the books. TTMM number 201. Hope everyone had a great weekend of watching some football, both college and the NFL. I got to watch my Giants lose to my Lions, although let's be honest, I didn't watch too much of it because it was pathetic. And got to see my Ducks beat the Utah Utes, so that was good considering we were at the game last week against the Huskies at Autzen, and it was not a good game. Did not enjoy it, and I said to myself, it's cold and miserable. And I go to most of the Duck games, and I'm like that. I go to most of the good Duck games. I don't like going to see them all anymore because, quite frankly, my living room is a lot more comfortable than a stadium. But I want to go to the big games, and I said after that Washington loss last week, I am not going to another Duck game. And I'm glad I didn't go last night because I really enjoyed watching the game in the comfort of my own home. I got to answer that. Hang on 1 second. And just like that, I'm back. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this week's returns. Hope everyone out there has a great week. I'll be back later with some more videos, I promise. See ya.